Hello and welcome to another tutorial. In the last video I have showed how you can set up the login module, and today we want to do the same thing with reaction roles. So let's switch over to the reaction roles module, and now we have this tab here. So the first thing which we need to do is adding a message here, and now we have two options. We can either choose using an already existing message on Discord, or we can send a new message by Sapphire. So first we will use an already existing message, and for that we will need a message link. So we will switch to Discord, we will right click a message and copy the message link. Now we will switch back to our dashboard and we will paste that in here, and then we click the arrow, and now we have this tab here. Now we will just add emotes, and well, normally you have your server emotes here, your custom emotes, but I don't have any on my server, so I will just stick to these standard emotes here. I will just begin with the joy emote, and well, now we will assign a role to the joy emote. So for example, let's say the member role. So we have the joy emote, and together with the joy emote we will get the member role if we react with that. So let's just hit save changes, and now let's have a look at how that looks on Discord. Now as you can see, Sapphire has reacted with the joy emote, and well, if we click that, we can look at our profile. As you can see, we get the member role, and if we remove the reaction, Sapphire will remove the member role. So this is pretty standard. And well, now we have, for example, more options here. The first option here is, for example, the reversed option. If we enable that, then well, it's basically the opposite. If we add the reaction, Sapphire will remove the role. I mean, we already have it removed, but if we now remove the reaction, then Sapphire will add the role to us, as you can see. Now we will add it again, and Sapphire will remove the role. This is how the reversed option works. And now, for example, we can add a limit to our reaction role. So first we should add a few more reaction roles. Let's do that quickly. Add a few emotes, add a few roles. We have already dummy. Let's do another one. And now we have 4 reaction roles here, and we will just hit save changes. And sorry, here on the options tab, as you can see, we have enabled, or I mean set a maximum reactions limit. So if we now go back to Discord, we have no role now, and now we will just, let's remove that again. Or maybe we should first disable the reverse option so it's clearer how that works. Let's remove the member role, and now we will add 2 reactions. And as you can see here, Sapphire will just normally, as usual, assign the roles to us. But if we now add more reactions, as you can see here, Sapphire will just remove the other 2 reactions. So we can only have 2 reactions at once, maximum. We can't have more than 2 reactions here. So this is how the maximum limit works. So let's switch back to the dashboard. And the third option which we have here is whitelisting or blacklisting roles. So the basic idea behind this is, well, we add a role here and now it's whitelisted, and now we are going to be able to use the reaction role, I mean, if we have this role. If we don't have this role, then we are not going to be able to use the reaction role. If we blacklist the member role, then it's going to be the opposite. Then we are only going to be able to use the reaction role if we don't have the member role. So this is the difference. Let's just test that, I guess. So, oh, I just see that we have the Sapphire role here, but Sapphire is a Discord integration, so that doesn't make sense. Just forget that, nothing important. And well, now we don't have the member role, and now we are just going to be adding a few reactions, and as you can see, nothing happens since we don't have the member role, and we are only going to be able to use it if we have the member role. So let's just add it manually. We have the member role now, and this should allow us to use the reaction rule. So as you can see, Sapphire will just assign all the roles to us, and well, we can also remove them again. Works perfectly fine. And well, now we only have the member role, and let's just switch back to the options and now switch the mode to Blacklist. And if we now use the reaction role, well, it's not going to work since we have the member role, and this means that we are blacklisted and we can't use the reaction role. So let's just remove the member role again, and this should allow us to use the reaction rule again. As you can see, this is just the opposite. Well, this is about the options here. And now we want to have a look at the zoom icon here. So if we click that, we have this little tab here. So we have our emote, and this is the role which gets added if we use our reaction role. And now we can also, for example, add more roles to that. So we can just say that Sapphire is not going to just add the member role, but several roles. Like we can add endless roles here, and Sapphire is just going to add all of these roles here. And we can also just do the same thing with remove roles. So we can, for example, say that Sapphire is going to add these 3D roles here, and at the same time remove the dummy role. So I would say let's just try that. We will hit save changes, and now we will get added to these 2 roles here, member muted, and get removed the member role, dummy role I mean. So for that we will obviously need to already have the dummy role and not have the other 2 roles. So we don't have any whitelisted roles, so that's good. And now we will just try that. This is the joy reaction here, the first one, and if we click that, you will get remove the dummy role and get added the member and muted role. And you can just do that like however you want. Now theoretically we have this edit message tab here, but this is not going to work since Sapphire can't edit a message of somebody else. And this is a message of our own here. This is our own message, so Sapphire can't obviously edit that. So let's just use the create a new message option. This was using an already existing message, and now we will just create a new message with Sapphire. So let's do that, and now we will first need to select a channel. So let's obviously select the reaction role channel, and well, now we will add a few emotes to that. Here, and well, we will add a few emotes like before, and we will also add a few roles to them. Not twice. Well, that should be it, and now we will just hit save changes and see what happens. Now we will switch back to Discord, and as you can see, Sapphire has sent this message here. Now this is just basically the default reaction role message of Sapphire. It looks pretty clean, and well, I don't think you don't really need to edit here anything, but if you want to do so, you can do obviously. So let's switch back to the dashboard, and here now we can use this edit message tab. Well, we have this embed here and this reaction roles variable, and now we can add a few things to this message here. So it doesn't matter what we add here, I just want to show how you can edit it. For example, you could also add images to it, or you can also add an image, you can add an author name, and also add an author picture, and you can also add choose a different embed color. You just click on the bar here, and now you just pick your color here. If we hit save changes now, well, Sapphire will just apply these changes, and you can do that however you want. You can be pretty creative with that, and you don't have really any limits to you, any limits set to you. And well, now we are already at the last step of our tutorial. Here we have at the top the settings tab, and if we switch to it, we have 2 options here. One is the automatically add reactions, and the other one is remove all reactions option. If we enabled the first option, or let's just disable it, well, the difference is going to be that Sapphire doesn't automatically add the reactions when we create a new reaction rule. So let's just create a new reaction rule, add to emote to that, as you can see here, and we will just hit save changes. And now on Discord, as you can see, we have the embed here, but Sapphire doesn't add any reactions. So this is basically what this option here does. So I just personally don't have any use for that. I just leave it enabled. And the other option is, well, if we just remove some reactions from a reaction rule, then Sapphire will automatically remove the reactions if we have this enabled. So let's just try that. We have this enabled, and now from this reaction rule here, we will just remove 2 reactions. And here, this is this one, as you can see. Let's just delete this one. We have 4 reactions here, and if we hit save changes, Sapphire just automatically removes the other 2 reactions. So this is what this option does. And if we had this disabled, then Sapphire just wouldn't remove the reactions. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. If you still have any questions left, then feel free to move over to the Sapphire support server. The link is in the description. And well, have a nice day and goodbye.